Good day, everybody. It's Andrew here, and welcome back to my channel. We have a big update from President Biden regarding the timeline for the stimulus check package, which could include that $1,400 stimulus check for seniors. So in this video, we're going to have updates from Pelosi as well as President Biden himself, and specifically updates regarding the new timeline that they expect to get that stimulus check package done. So let's discuss the details in this video, but before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. As always, please subscribe to my second channel. The link to that is going to be in the comments of this video, and I really appreciate your support as I'm now doing this full time. So for every single person that subscribes to that second channel, thank you so much. I'm going to be giving away some stimulus checks on that channel as a thank you, and I should be getting videos up and running on that one in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned. That should be coming up shortly. Now, as far as the update for the new timeline, President Biden confirmed his expectation for a timeline for getting that stimulus package done. Now, this is the official whitehouse.gov website, and this is a statement by President Joe Biden himself, released on Friday, November 5th, and he said, "I am urging all members to vote for both the rule for consideration of the Build Back Better Act, aka the stimulus check package, and final passage of the bipartisan infrastructure bill tonight. I am confident that during the week of November 15th, the House will pass the Build Back Better Act." So this was Friday afternoon that President Biden released this statement. Now, later that night, the House did fully vote and approve the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which is what he said was his expectation when he wrote this statement. The second part of the statement was that he is confident that during the week of November 15th, the House will pass the Build Back Better Act, and that he was urging members of the House to vote for the rule for consideration of that stimulus package. Now, in simple terms, that means the first step of the stimulus check package is voting for the rule consideration, which they actually did. Later that night, the House voted to get that first step done, which now sets the stage for the House to be able to vote and approve the stimulus check package in the House on the week of November 15th, which is what President Biden wrote in this statement. He said, "I am confident that during the week of November 15th, the House will pass the Build Back Better Act." So that is President Biden's current timeline. He expects the House to approve the stimulus check package just in the House, not the Senate, on the week of November 15th. The first step in that process was to get the rule for consideration done, and they actually did do that Friday night. So we are on track to actually get this done on the week of November 15th, specifically in the House. Now, Pelosi actually commented on this first step, so let's take a look and see what Pelosi said. Then we'll discuss how this is affecting the November 15th timeline, which President Biden just confirmed.
Today, we have an opportunity to proceed down a path to advance a very historic and transformative agenda. The president's agenda to build back better and also to pass a bipartisan infrastructure framework, create good paying jobs across the country, building the infrastructure of our country with mass transit to help clean the air, with safer bridges for safety for the American people, for broadband to help people communicate better, whether it's distance learning, telemedicine, or commerce, or just family relations. There are many other elements in the legislation that are very important to the success of our economy. But in order to build back better, we want to do that and pass the Build Back Better bill. I call it Build Back Better for women because it makes a big difference in being transformative for women in the workplace. We had hoped to be able to bring both bills to the floor today. Some members want more clarification or validation of numbers that have been put forth, that it's top line, that it is fully paid for, and we honor that request. So today, we hope to pass the BIF and also the rule on Build Back Better with the idea that before Thanksgiving, it should take another week or so to get the numbers that they're requesting as that's how long it takes. And as we do, then we will have a Thanksgiving gift for the American people.
Pelosi pointing out the fact that the reason we even have to wait until the week of November 15th is because moderate Democrats in the House did not want to vote to approve the stimulus check package until the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, told them exactly how it was going to affect the economy and whether or not it officially would be fully paid for. Now, we've already had some committees who have confirmed that, yes, this stimulus package will be fully paid for, but they specifically want the CBO to tell them and confirm that that is in fact the case. So because of that, that is why it got pushed back until November 15th. See, Nancy Pelosi actually wanted to vote on the stimulus check package in the House on Friday, just like they did with the physical bipartisan stimulus plan, right? So because the CBO has not yet confirmed that this stimulus package will be fully paid for, conservatives in the House delayed the vote on the stimulus check package. So really frustrating, because technically if they had voted to approve that on Friday, right now it would be in the Senate, and the Senate could be working on their amendments, and we could have been looking at a stimulus check package that could have potentially been approved either this week or next week. But now, with this new timeline, it looks like the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, will either tell us this week, the week of November 8th, or next week, the week of November 15th, exactly how much this stimulus package is going to be costing, and 100% with certainty whether or not it's going to be fully paid for. Now, based off of the fact that we've had other committees say that, yes, it's going to be fully paid for, we fully expect that to be the case, but moderate Democrats will not even vote for it until the CBO officially releases their report. So again, we should have that report either this week, by the end of this week, or sometime early next week. Now, Nancy Pelosi also said that the House did vote Friday night to take the first step in getting that stimulus package done. Again, guys, there's multiple steps to all these processes. There's a lot of legal processes in place. So overall, it is frustrating, but still good news that at least this last Friday, November 5th, they officially took the first step in getting that stimulus package started, right? So President Biden confirmed that because of this, because they did take that first step on Friday, November 15th, and the CBO is expected to release its report by the end of this week, that we are headed towards a November 15th timeline for the House to approve this stimulus check package. So that is next week. As of making this video today, November 8th, that is 7 days away. Of course, they said the week of, so it might not be that exact day, but we do expect them to get it done by the end of that week, because as you see here, the week after that, Congress is set to go on vacation for Thanksgiving. They take an entire week off, of course. And these yellow-colored dates are the dates where both the House and the Senate is in session, and this blue date means just the Senate is in session. So the expectation is that at the very latest, the House will fully approve the stimulus check package by the 18th because they're set to go on vacation the 19th. And then the Senate will have a day to either fully approve it immediately or make their amendments and then send it back to the House so they can try and fully approve it. Now, optimistically, we'll have the stimulus package done completely by the end of that week, right? Now, at worst, we expect them to get it done by Friday, December 3rd, because like we've talked about in previous videos, that is when the debt ceiling crisis has to be addressed, and we fully expect Democrats to take care of the stimulus package before they address the debt ceiling crisis for multiple reasons we've talked about in previous videos. So, even if President Biden's timeline is met and the House approves the stimulus check package on the week of November 15th, which is next week, there's a good chance it's going to take another 2 weeks to see it fully approved and end up on President Biden's desk, because as they're expected to take a week off here for Thanksgiving, see these dates are blank, that means everyone's on vacation, the Senate is also going to make its amendments, especially with Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema constantly slowing things down. So what's probably going to happen is the House will approve it the week of November 15th. The Senate will take a couple of weeks to make its amendments and then send it back to the House to approve those amendments. And then afterwards, they can send it to President Biden's desk to have it fully signed into law by December 3rd. So that is a realistic date. However, President Biden's timeline, as he noted on his website, is the week of November 15th. So a little frustrating that things continue to take way too long, but we are heading in the right direction, and Biden has confirmed his timeline to get this stimulus package done. Now, at the same time, President Biden still has not fully signed into law the physical stimulus package, which is a little bit odd because we've been waiting months for this to happen, and it's going to create hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs as well as stimulate the economy. Now, reports are saying that the reason he hasn't fully signed it into law yet is because he is planning a big ceremony, which is going to be a bipartisan ceremony where both Republicans and Democrats who voted for this package will be there to celebrate as President Biden signs this bill into law, both celebrating the fact that the physical stimulus package is being approved, as well as celebrating the fact that Democrats and Republicans came together on a bipartisan package for once, which is pretty rare, right? So that is what's kind of slowing down the stimulus package being signed into law, which is kind of odd because you'd think President Biden would just sign it immediately. But in any case, that's what's going on. And then secondly, President Biden was recently asked, is he really confident in his timeline for the stimulus check package? Does he really think that now that the physical stimulus package has been approved, that moderate Democrats will still now vote to get the stimulus check package done? Because moderates were more concerned with the physical stimulus plan. They really don't even care about the stimulus check package, right? That was leverage that progressives had over moderates to get the stimulus check package done, and now that leverage is gone. So President Biden was asked, hey, now that that leverage is gone, do you still believe that moderates will vote and that we're going to get that stimulus check package done soon? So we actually have a really good clip here where President Biden was asked about all of these details. This clip does a really good job of asking President Biden if he thinks moderates will get on board for the stimulus check package, as well as explaining why President Biden still has not signed the physical stimulus package into law. So let's take a look, see what President Biden had to say, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
President Biden's signature is all the bipartisan infrastructure bill right now needs to become a law. And this is after months and months and months of negotiations. The House finally moved the legislation across the finish line late Friday evening. President Biden touted what the $1 trillion plan will accomplish at a news conference over the weekend.
It's going to create more jobs, good-paying jobs, union jobs that can't be outsourced, and they're going to transform our transportation system with the most significant investments in passenger rail, the most significant investment in 50 years, in roads and bridges, the most significant investment in 70 years, and more investment in public transit than we've ever made. Period.
While the president celebrates this win for his agenda, his social spending package could still face an uphill battle in Congress. Nancy Cordes is joining us right now from the White House to talk about what's coming next. So, Nancy, you heard Anne-Marie and I sort of joking about every reporter in Washington, D.C., and some not in Washington, like those of us here in New York, refreshing our phones, looking at our emails to see what was going on Friday. There's nothing on the president's public schedule about signing this infrastructure bill into law today. So what gives?
Well, he wants to have a big signing ceremony, and he wants to bring Democrats and Republicans here to the White House, those that were instrumental in crafting this bill and getting it passed, to all be standing around him when he signs this piece of landmark legislation. And that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, he wants to make the point, look, I notched a big bipartisan victory here in a town that isn't known for that many bipartisan victories these days. This bill was crafted by a group of Democrats and Republicans, and he wants to make the case that he was instrumental in bringing them together and getting this over the finish line when so many other presidents have tried and failed to do the same thing. So that's going to take a couple of days to pull everything together to make sure that everybody can be here at the White House for the signing ceremony. He's in no rush, and he's going to be hitting the road as well. He's going to head to the Port of Baltimore on Wednesday to sell the infrastructure bill as well, because as we know, based on polls, there are still a lot of Americans who aren't completely sure what's in this bill, what's in his Build Back Better bill. So, now begins the work of selling the bill and making sure that Americans know what they're getting from it.
So I'm curious as to why he thinks he needs to sell it. You would think that the best way to sell it is to sign it and let's get that money flowing. Do we have any idea how long it will take for these initiatives in the bill to actually get started?
I think he's likely to sign the bill sometime this week. And this weekend, when he was holding that press conference, we were in the room. He was arguing, with a big smile on his face, I should add, that that Americans will start seeing the effects in the next few months as shovel-ready projects get underway. But this is a bill whose effects are going to be felt for years because, as we know, some of these projects, they don't just, you can't flick a light switch and get them started. When you're talking about things like the electrical grid or water pipes or broadband, it takes time to plan meticulously to modernize these structures. And so the case that the White House and outside economists have made as well is that this is going to be a job creator for the next decade, at least, potentially hundreds of thousands of jobs created as a result of this huge $1 trillion infrastructure bill. And that's part of the reason why it did have both Democratic and Republican support in Congress.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that the president joked about this being finally Infrastructure Week because for 4 years leading up to this moment, that was the common refrain and the common sort of joke over there in D.C. Let me ask you about the social spending bill, Nancy. You actually asked the president about it on Saturday. I want to play a bit of that exchange.
Have you gotten assurances from moderate Democrats in the House and Senate that they are going to vote for your Build Back Better plan now that what they really wanted, the infrastructure bill, has passed?
I'm not going to answer that question for you because I'm not going to get into what made what commitments to me. I don't negotiate in public, but I feel confident. I feel confident that we will have enough votes to pass the Build Back Better plan.
What gives you that confidence?
Me.
Well, that's pretty confident. You heard the president there, Nancy. I mean, it's basically like c'est moi, as Napoleon famously said. So where do social spending bill negotiations stand right now?
So, his self-confidence is not solely based on his own belief in himself. It is also based on the fact that there were a lot of moderate Democrats before they voted for the infrastructure bill on Friday, actually put it in writing that they would support the Build Back Better plan as long as they got cost estimates back from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office sometime in the next week and a half or so that confirm that the Build Back Better bill costs what the Biden administration says it costs. And this was hard fought because, as you know, there were a lot of Democrats, progressives, who were very worried that if they went ahead and passed this infrastructure bill, that they would lose that leverage over moderate Democrats who perhaps were not as enthralled with the $2 trillion social spending package known as Build Back Better as they were. And so they really tried as hard as they could to extract promises from moderate Democrats. Okay, if we pass this infrastructure bill, do you promise, do you pinky swear that you are actually going to go ahead and vote for Build Back Better? And most, but not all of them, but most of them have given those assurances on the record that yes, they will vote for it. Now, if the CBO comes back with markedly different projections than the bill's authors and the White House have claimed in terms of how much this is going to cost, how much of it is paid for, then all bets are off. They're going to have to make some significant changes. And that's why moderate Democrats want to wait, especially in the House. They've got to wait in the Senate to use reconciliation. But in the House, they could have voted on the Build Back Better plan already if you didn't have a group of moderates saying, well, let's just cross our T's, dot our I's. We don't want to have to vote for something and then find out after the fact that actually we voted for something that was more expensive than we thought. So they want to wait an extra week. And as of right now, progressives are a little nervous, but they were willing to make that compromise because I think after the losses that Democrats suffered in elections in various states last week, there was a recognition, okay, we've got to stop the infighting. We've got to pass something. Let's go ahead and pass the infrastructure bill and keep our fingers crossed that we can get Build Back Better over the finish line in a week or two.